Okay, we are live. We are coming up on 6:15 p.m. It is Wednesday, March 23rd, 2022. This is Weather Live, and this is meteorologist Rich Lupia. I'm based in Greenville, South Carolina, and not too far to my south and west, we have a tornado warning just a couple of counties away. It's still very warm. It's still very humid, and even though most of the thunderstorm activity has moved off to the north and to the east, there's just enough energy left in the atmosphere for a few supercells to develop. One has developed about 40 miles south of my exact location. There's a tornado warning on it right now. We're going to go live to the Doppler radar and show you exactly what's happening. This is in Abbeville County, South Carolina, which is about, so my exact position is up here. This is down here, and this storm, as it continues to progress to the north and east, will stay south and east of my location. So I am not under threat. I am not under threat of needing to evacuate or to get to shelter or anything, but this storm is progressing off to the north and east at about 45 to 50 miles per hour, and it is between Abbeville and due west, and you can see kind of a semicircle shape to this storm. It's not indicating a TVS at this time. It was tornado warned as it came across by Calhoun Falls and was progressing just to the north and west of Abbeville. This is a relatively rural area of upstate South Carolina down in Abbeville County, and then progressing off to the north and to the east. This is a fairly rural area as well. There are a few locations here or there, but this is not a generally highly populated area. So that's what the reflectivity looks like on it right now. We'll go over to the velocity, and you see that there is some velocity here. There is some. It's not impressive, but it is a supercell thunderstorm, and it did look a little bit more impressive a little bit earlier. Let me back this up here, and you can see that the velocity couplet was a little bit better in the last couple of frames back towards Calhoun Falls, where they issued the tornado warning. And as it's progressed off to the north and east, going between Abbeville and due west, it has weakened just a little bit. Now we'll throw up the reflectivity, and we'll put this on a loop as well. You can see it was a little bit better defined, but there's been some development around the backside of it, around the rear flank downdraft, and it looks like it may have cut off whatever was there. This is a radar-indicated tornado warning, and this is in a relatively rural area as well. So if something did drop out of the sky, it probably wasn't for very long. If something's on the ground right now, hard to say. It's probably not very strong. This is not a very strong signature with it. If it's on the ground, it's probably minimal at this point in time. So it is progressing to the north and west of Greenwood, and I'm going to throw up the differential phase just to take a look at possible debris signatures. And it did look like there was a little bit more back here where they issued the tornado warning, but there's less of it here, and it's not really that far away from the Doppler radar site. The Doppler radar site is up here in Greer, just on the north side of Interstate 85, so it's shooting about 50 miles away. It's got a fairly good look at it, and it's not really showing all that much at this point in time. If the tornado warning is going to be extended, it would be extended into northeast Abbeville County, extreme northern Greenwood County, and into southern Lawrence County. And as the storm approaches the Lawrence area, this is a much more populated area. This is the seat of Lawrence County. There's about 30, 40, 50,000 people in this area, and Clinton just to the east. Some good population here as well. More population than there is over the area where it's going right now. But at this point in time, if there is a tornado on the ground, it's probably weak. It's probably not all that much at this time. So we'll keep an eye on this here. And within the next 15 minutes or so, it will be approaching and crossing U.S. Highway 25. So U.S. Highway 25 comes up here from near Williamston down through Princeton, through Ware Shoals, down to Cokesbury, and then down to Greenwood. I travel this route all the time. This is a relatively rural route until you get near Greenwood. and this storm is progressing off to the north and east. This storm is actually heading straight for Lawrence, South Carolina. So just based on this, where Shoals is getting into it right now, there is a potential for strong wind gusts, potentially some hail with this, and obviously the possible tornado, and that's if the tornado was on the ground. It looked a little bit better when it was back here closer to the lake, closer to the Georgia-South Carolina border, but it's not really looking like that at this point in time. Okay, so if this storm were to hold together and were to continue moving off to north and east, it would be approaching Lawrence, approaching the city of Lawrence around 6:45 to 7 o'clock or so. And then getting beyond that to Interstate 385 and then to Interstate 26 up towards... let's see here. So south of Woodruff, I forgot exactly what town that is back there. Enery. So between Woodruff and Lawrence is Enery. It would be passing just to the south and east of Enery, and then getting up towards not Cross Hill, but Cross Market, and up towards Union. And Union has a little bit of population as well. Again, not as much as Lawrence, but it's still the seat of Union County, and there is still definitely some concern. So if you happen to know of folks in the Lawrence area, in the Union area, Ware Shoals, anywhere within this area, a supercell thunderstorm is approaching. Potentially tornadic. Again, this is only a Doppler indicated rotation at this time. This is not Doppler radar confirmed. This is not storm spotter confirmed. And I will take a look in a few moments to see whether or not any storm spotters have confirmed whether or not anything is on the ground in the upstate of South Carolina. So that's the one tornado warning that we have. And I'm going to back out the view here. I'm going to back out the view of the radar just to show you what else is going on. I don't really want to back it out that far, but okay. All right, so besides this storm passing to the south and east of Greenville, Spartanburg, and the suburbs just to the south of Greenville, Simpsonville is where I'm at specifically, just south and east of Greenville. This activity will eventually carry towards the city of Charlotte, but by the time it gets up to Charlotte, sun's going to be going down. More shear is going to be getting into play. A lot of the ingredients that caused the supercell thunderstorm to form in northeast Georgia and carry over into the upstate of South Carolina are going to be weakening. But there is a thunderstorm just to the north and west of Toccoa. This is up around Batesville, up around Clayton. This is up in the mountains here until it gets past Walhalla, and then it gets into a little bit more Piedmontish type area here. So this one's over the mountains right now, approaching Tallulah Falls, but this is basically trending up the Georgia-South Carolina border, up into the mountains of North Carolina. There's another storm here just south and west of Franklin, North Carolina. That's moving up just south of Kaloe, and then near Rossman and Brevard. This is mainly along the one of the ridge lines of the Appalachians, where the elevations are between 4,000 and 6,000 feet. So it's going to be extremely difficult. Even if the ingredients were there, it would be extremely difficult to get some sustained rotation into any of these storms. Even though there are some factors for rotation, this is probably going to be more of a damaging wind, heavy rain, possible low-lying flooding in this area, especially because there's already been a lot of rain today up towards Canton, up towards Fletcher, and then approaching the Asheville area, and some more storms as you see following it up the Blue Ridge, back towards Morganton, up to the north and east of Black Mountain, and up towards Blowing Rock, and all that activity will be approaching Boone, North Carolina shortly. So for sure in the mountains of western North Carolina, it does look like you're going to be getting hit pretty good. All right, I'm going to come back to the tornado warned storm, which is just to the south of due west. It's just passing to the north of Abbeville, and I'm going to put a velocity on here. It's still showing some possible velocity here on the south end of this. I wish we had a camera in Abbeville and can shoot north up South Carolina 20 to take a good look at this. But unfortunately, as far as I know, there's no cameras in Abbeville right now. There may be some cameras in Greenwood. If it's shooting northwest, we might be able to get a look at the system just to see if there's even a wall cloud or even a rotation there. But I'm just going to pull up this warning here. Radar indicated session moving northeast at 35. Take cover now. Okay. And okay. So at 6:12, okay, remains in effect. So they reissued it at 6:12. So they said that it was still there. All right. The next radar scan just came in. I don't really see it. I'm honestly not seeing it right now. I'm not saying that it's not there. It's still a tornado warned storm. If you're within the tornado warning box, you need to be in your precautions, especially in the town, or in the village of Due West, and just south and east of Due West. And this is 178 here from Oneapath to Donalds to Cokesbury, and this is 25 heading up to Ware Shoals and towards Princeton. So any folks that live along US 25 between Princeton and Greenwood, on US 178 between Oneapath and Cokesbury, you need to be in your tornado precautions right now. You need to be lowest level. You need to be away from windows, lowest level of the home. If you got a basement, good. If not, lowest level will do just fine. Just as a precaution at this point, because this is a supercell thunderstorm, there is a tornado warning with it. And looking at the differential phase, there's not really much of an indication of any debris with this at this time. There's no debris signature with this that's being caught up with it at this time. Again, the velocity signatures are very weak, very suspect. Really, the biggest thing that this storm has going with it is the fact that it is a supercell, and the fact that it does have a little bit of a hook, a little bit of a rotation with it, and there is some lightning back here. There is some cloud-to-ground lightning back here. That's really the best thing that this storm has going for it at this point in time. Now, if this tornado warning gets extended to the north and east, if this gets extended into northeast Abbeville County, into northern Greenwood County, and into southern Lawrence County, if that tornado warning gets extended in the coming minutes, then we'll definitely stay on it. If the tornado warning goes off, then we will, then we'll just sign off here. Heading down towards the Midlands, heading down towards Columbia, down towards Lake Murray. There's nothing going on right now. As we go farther off down to the south and east, there are some special marine warnings down towards Savannah, down towards the coast of Georgia. Most of that activity heading off the Atlantic coast. This is the storm of note that we are looking at right now. It does actually look like it's increased in strength just a little bit. All right, let me put velocity back on it. Velocity still not all that great, although there is that little bit of a hook there. And I'm going to throw up the differential phase. Okay, there's a little bit of something there with the differential phase. Okay. Yeah, there is definitely a little bit of something, there. It could be minor, but it's near the end of the tornado warning area. It's starting to get into areas that are outside the tornado warning. And the tornado warning has not been extended to the north and east. If National Weather Service out of Greer decides to do that, we will pick up on it and we will stay on this storm. But what I want to do for just a moment, there is one other tornado warning. It's up in the state of Ohio. It's actually not far from just north of Athens, Ohio, and Marietta. So this is not Ohio State University. That's Columbus, but the University of Ohio is in Athens, and Marietta is along the West Virginia Ohio border, and there's Parkersburg, West Virginia. So this tornado warning, this one is definitely a little bit more dynamic and is moving off to the north and east. There is rotation indicated with this right now. The rotation is not that great. The tornado warning does expire in just a few minutes. I'm just going to pull up that information here, and it's not showing me that information. The severe thunderstorm warning, let's see here. That's up here towards Mansfield, Ohio. That storm's just to the east of Interstate 71, is heading up towards Akron, and is heading up towards the southern suburbs of Cleveland at this time. There's the rotation there just to the north of Athens. So I'm going to come back to South Carolina here. I'm going to come back to our active tornado warning in South Carolina. This is Abbeville County. This is about 5-7 miles north of Abbeville. And it expires, it expires in 18 minutes, but the box does not really go that far. I mean, if this, if they want, if Weather Service in Greer wants this tornado warning to be extended up towards Ware Shoals and approaching Lawrence, they're going to have to issue a new box, pretty much like right now. That's the way, that's the way that it's looking right now. I'm going to pull up National Weather Service Greer on my site over here. Just give me a moment. Hold on just a sec. 614, 612. Okay, I'm going to keep that up. Okay. All right. Next thing I'm going to look for. I'm going to look for cams in Greenwood, South Carolina. Lake Greenwood cam. Okay. Let me take a look at. Let me take a look at that. Let's see. Nope. That's not. Okay. All right. Just looking on through. I'm not finding any cams there. Stand by. Let's try WeatherBug. And that is here in Greenville. Okay, Charlotte, Rock Hill, Lincolnton, Charlotte, Cleveland, Georgia. Okay, so not really anything there. Okay. Okay, and really nothing there as well. Okay. All right, so I'm going to refresh this again. And it looks like they've allowed the tornado warning to expire. Let me go back to the radar site. It is actually out of the tornado warning area right now. Let me go back to Greer's website. And it's still showing the tornado warning, but it has been taken off. So let me hit refresh one more time. It's still showing it there, but it's not. There. Okay, so all right. I'm going to one more time. I'm going to pull up the radar, and I'm going to go to the reflectivity. Still showing a very intense thunderstorm, supercell thunderstorm, just to the north and east of due west. And the storm is moving towards US 178, which is between Donalds and Cokesbury. This is US 25, Ware Shoals, Princeton, and down through this area. This is the north end of Greenwood Lake, of Lake Greenwood. That storm will stay to the north of that. This is South Carolina 72 heading up towards Cross Hill and up towards Clinton. This is 221 coming up through Waterloo and heading towards Lawrence. There's still a hook. There's still a hook there. And there's still some lightning in that area. All right, let me get a velocity scan. Okay. That's interesting. There might possibly be something there, but that's a little bit outside of that area. I think we're probably wish casting at this point. There's probably, what this probably is there's probably a wall cloud. There's probably a low-hanging cloud, rear flank downdraft that's down there. Probably some really gusty winds on the backside of the storm. Whether or not an actual tornado is coming down or has come down at any point, I'm honestly not seeing it at the moment. The differential phase, very suspect with this. It honestly doesn't look like a whole lot. I mean, when you look at the reflectivity, it does look impressive. The tornado warning has been allowed to expire. The cone is no longer there. They don't even have a severe thunderstorm warning with this, heading into up towards Ware Shoals and up towards Lawrence. So all I'm going to say about this is bottom line, Ware Shoals, Lawrence, heading up towards Clinton, and then eventually up towards Union, and then towards Sunset later on tonight, Rock Hill, Fort Mill, and up to the southern suburbs of Charlotte. This supercell thunderstorm will be heading your way. It may flare up again. It may turn severe. It may turn tornadic. This is definitely a storm to keep an eye on. This will stay south and east of Fountain Inn, Simpsonville, Malden, and Greenville, and will stay south and east of Wood Woodruff and Roebuck and Spartanburg as well. So this will not hit the most populated area of the upstate, which is generally within 10 miles of Interstate 85. This will be staying more out in the rural areas of upstate South Carolina as it tracks its way eventually towards the south side of Charlotte. So that is our that is the look at that storm. Again, with the fact that there may have been a possible tornado down in the upstate of South Carolina, with it not being that far from here, I did want to pop on. We'll take a look and see if there's any damage in that area. If there is so, we'll report on it on our Facebook site, meteorologist Rich Lupia, a little bit later tonight. Just a quick reminder that you can follow me online at meteorologist Rich Lupia on Facebook and YouTube. TikTok and Instagram was uploaded this morning. You can find out more information about me at richlupia.com. And that is it for this live broadcast. Help people every day in every way, regardless of what it is. God bless you. Thank you for watching this edition of Weather Live. We'll see you again soon.